It's going live? Okay, mine's on. But if it's coming on, but hey, George, come on yours. Hey, we good, baby. So yeah, hey guys, all right. So, hey, first off, welcome to the Talks on Tap. We've been actually the idea is we've been meaning to have kind of like the in-person events, like have someone teach about a particular subject, whether it's like tech, blockchain, privacy, you name it. But right now we got to keep it online, and. Me and George, we're really excited to have Steven from 0xNull.io. He's also the CEO of Margin Syndicate, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. All right. So we're going to cover a little bit, a little bit of your story. But before that, hey, me and George, we're super excited about privacy and the history, the tech behind it. And we're seeing this, now privacy has become a strong narrative now, in the mainstream, sort of in the mainstream space. So, but yeah, so Steven, I'm so stoked to connect you on LinkedIn. And yeah, man, George, I'm totally stoked about talking about privacy, Monero, Zcash, the good, bad, the ugly, you name it, So I know, but before we dive in, hey, George, any exciting news from your side?
Now, firstly, I want to say, Stephen, thank you so much for doing this. Really, really appreciate it. When you talk about privacy, I think the technology is pretty cool, isn't it? So really interesting to see, what you're working on. And before that, just wanted to check, how's your day been so far? How are things back in England right now?
They're fine, man. I think for us to build internal to the UK, it's actually okay. Mm-hmm. If I build something similar to this in the US, it's probably, it wouldn't be good, right? Just you saw what happened to Sammy. The Samira guys went to the authorities and they asked them, hey, is this appropriate? And they still went after them, right? So there's the law and then there's the implicit kind of view of the law. So in the UK, that they've got bigger things to do. I think if it became significantly voluminous, they might worry about it, but they don't tend to. There are other privacy devs internal to UK, right? Yeah. So it seems a good place to build.
Before we start, just wanted to check in, Stephen, how would you define Bitcoin? What is your definition of Bitcoin? Because based on my understanding, people give different definition of Bitcoin. How would you personally define Bitcoin? And keeping that in mind, how do you think Monero compares to Bitcoin? I think our listeners would love to know about that.
Yeah, I think that there are astute people that have come through crypto for a long time, and they take the view that Monero is the vision of what Bitcoin was intended to be. If you went back to the original cypherpunks, the cypherpunk vision is probably closer to Monero than it is to Bitcoin now. But Bitcoin's kind of struggling for narrative at the moment. I kind of think of Bitcoin as a liquidity sponge, right? That's pretty much what it is. And then I kind of the correlation with QQQ is about like 60% or something. With gold is about 12%. So I just see it as kind of leveraged NASDAQ. I know that there's some older Bitcoin OGs, which obviously I have respect for. But yeah, it's not what it was, right? So
yeah,
that's probably my concern with it, right? Yeah.
You're absolutely spot on. It is definitely not what it was, because now, in my Blockchain DXB podcast, which I'll release every day, the first thing, strangely enough, I look at the inflows and outflows in the ETF world. And that actually tells you, what is driving the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And just before BlackRock getting into the game, that just wasn't there, right, Marcus? It was more about, the ethics, the cypherpunk movement, the whole talk about privacy, separation of money and the state. That thing is kind of disappeared. Right?
Oh, yeah. That disappeared. Oh, man, I think, I just feel super old because I remember back in the States, because how I got into Bitcoin was actually through libertarian politics. So, coming from a typical Indian background, I'm big into gold and silver. But then these other guys, your anarchists, anarcho-capitalists, the classical liberals, in that freedom movement, let's put it that way, talked about Bitcoin and, how it's going to, and also, blockchain, and now we call it Web3, right? How it's going to revolutionize the way we use the internet, information, and money. So those values of, the cypherpunks and definitely it's very rarely I come across folks who know about this stuff, so definitely times have changed, and I feel like an old timer, sir. An old timer. I'm like, back in my day, I keep using that. I cannot believe I'm using that language,
Yeah, I think we're returning to that. I think a lot of the things that they put in the manifesto are becoming prescient, right? So I mean that was the kind of the thing that came up recently, is just, we kind of need that separation now. People are suspicious of institutions to some extent, particularly in Europe. Yeah. So there needs to be that kind of separation of state and money, which we in terms of Europe and the US, that's certainly something we see as necessary now. But yeah, also taking the cypherpunk ethos, to me, there's a lot of perfectionism internal to crypto now, and there's a lot of, if you actually get revenue, then you're not going to get money from VCs. There's lots of kind of ideation of technology, and like people working for years and years on engineering projects which don't really kind of make money, right? So like, I think like for a cypherpunk kind of idea, you kind of need to build commercial products, things that people actually use. Like we've got so many blockchains now, like people don't use them. And there was this confusion with ZK Tech, like when Scroll came up and ZK, that they weren't doing things in bytecode, they were doing things in EVM. So like it wasn't private, it was just to kind of speed things up. But there was this deliberate kind of smearing of it, saying, "Oh, ZK private," but I mean, it's not at all, right? If it's not done in bytecode, they were doing it on EVM, so they were just mashing numbers together. So I mean, it wasn't. It's a bit sketch. I mean, you were saying like there's more of this kind of this idea of privacy tech coming through, but it just kind of feels like a narrative again. You know what I mean? It's just like.
No, sure, yeah. But do you think like maybe like with Scroll and these other privacy tech stuff is more like in terms of the technology, there's always some sort of like a trade-off and stuff. So how they approach things. I mean,
yeah, it's really hard for them, right? Because they're taking VC money. So like for them to take VC money for them to build something like I'm building, like no VC would fund that, man. Because like if they need stuff like metadata, they need, that's how like Google, Facebook, that's seen as the way to make money, right? You make money from people's metadata. But like still 50% of Google's money and Facebook's money is from ads, man. They're doing all this other kind of AI stuff, but I mean, it's all about data, and that's worth a lot of money. And, I can't do that. Like that goes against my ethos. It goes against the tech. So, I mean, it's...
Why don't you tell our listeners about Syndicate? Because I believe you're the CEO of Syndicate Margin Trading, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, we're quite big now, man. So, like, all I'm doing is I'm long and shorting stuff all day. So I've got 2 programs. That's basically trading, which is all SMA. So, like, this wasn't popular a year ago. Like, it's very popular now, which is separately managed account, where people don't trust anyone anymore in crypto, right? So they just give you keys to their account, and then you trade their account remotely. And that's been like really successful. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it's taken a while to kind of get to this point, but now, yeah, like it's crazy. Yeah. And I've just started doing options, and like not many people do options, but I mean, I built this thing over a year to like trade options just systematically, because it like a lot of options trading is done sort of by actual traders. And I thought like you can definitely trade this systematically with all the data you have in crypto. So I trade derivatives basically, so I trade options and swaps. Yeah. But that's a, it's just me, but now it's a fairly large business, right? So I just thought I'd do something else on the side, right? Just like try to give something meaning, right? As opposed to longing and shorting stuff all day, right?
That is something that you're passionate about, as opposed to something you talked about earlier as well, isn't it? Not necessarily for making money, but rather focused on privacy.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel sorry for the next generation, man. It's like, what are they supposed to do with what they're given, right? It's difficult for them. And then like I had all this knowledge from from working in systems and working with these telecom companies. And for me, like I see how you can use the technology, and I know how to build it, right? So it's not like a big deal for me to kind of just strap it together and say, hey, this is what you can do, and people can choose to use it or not. And like, yeah, I mean, we started doing like predictions because everyone was doing predictions and like.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. And then I what did I do? I tried to hook up 11 labs so people could synthesize like people's voices and stuff. You know, it's just like all these kind of ideas that are put together as like in a private kind of way. So I just believe people should be able to provide these services in a private kind of way because we see all this metadata being captured. So we just had this issue in the UK where a company's house was infiltrated and all this personal data was. I mean, we see that every single day. So for me,
all the time,
it's just nuts. Like the KYC just seems like an attack vector. I mean, like, why do you need it? You know what I mean? It's not for the users. It's for the compliance people, right? It's not for the users.
Yeah.
It's never for the user. Yeah. And
yeah.
Unless you're at Mexi and you're trying to get your money out of them, man. But like, it's not nothing else, man.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you brought up the KYC thing because one of the guys, I'm sure you might have heard of Bruce Fenton. So Bruce Fenton, well-known libertarian guy. He ran for, I think he ran for some candidacy in New Hampshire, but also he's also the guy who organized Satoshi Roundtable, like in Mexico and also a couple of years now here in Dubai too. So I remember he did mention about, why did KYC come into being is because in the banking particularly, they cannot sign up someone who's like a politician and anything like that because of, political reasons, blah, blah, blah. But eventually this idea of, this politically connected person eventually expanded into everybody else, like you and me. So like now everyone is like politically connected or something, So this is where this ridiculous idea of KYC comes from because of this concept of politically connected individual or person or whatever they have. So what the point I'm trying to say is like, it started with a small thing and you give these bureaucrats and politicians, they're able to expand the definition to everybody. And now all our data is stuck in all the centralized entities, and how many times our data gets leaked and that information can be used against you, all that kind of stuff. And, so yeah. I just want to share a little bit of history over here. So.
Yeah, totally. I was watching this thing about similar thing like digital ID in Britain. They did it during the Second World War because they were trying to catch people who were German spies, right? But they kept it open in 1952. So you always have that scope creep. And then like the War on Terror, remember that? Like, Tony tried to bring in digital ID. Why? It's like it's just an excuse. And then like. More recently, like they're trying to do it again. But I mean, I think it's just, we're gathered, but they're the onions to the world, right? Like, so you get the people that you see, and then you get their bosses, then you get their bosses' bosses, okay? And then to them, we're all numbers on a spreadsheet, right? Numbers on a spreadsheet. They want to enumerate the numbers on the spreadsheet, right? So like, what is this guy doing? And then, obviously it's a control mechanism, right? Like you saw what happened in China. I mean, it's not good, right? Like those guys, you see them as like sleeping on the street, like because they've been, I don't know what, Like I get speeding fines all the time, man. Like I don't want to like lose my. It just seems disproportionate, man. It's just like I see it as part of a control apparatus. Yeah, I think that's the reason for it.
Digital IDs with central bank digital currency is definitely a recipe for disaster, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, they can control what we do. I think the governments some governments do better than others, but I mean, particularly in the West, our governments feel they know what to do with our money, and they never do, man. Like in Holland, they're trying to do what is it? They're trying to tax stuff when you haven't taken profit. Like unrealized.
Oh, the unrealized gains. Oh yeah, that's the wildest thing.
And then they go to us, what are you going to do with this? Because we're going to take the money and we're going to do something better with it. We're gonna. I'm just like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're going to pay some pensions and like, I don't know, man. Yeah, it's just not credible. Yeah,
That's one of the reasons why people are moving to Dubai, isn't it? Because there's no tax.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, like, also you see like the Dubai leaders, they seem a bit like they seem to care about what people think.
Yep.
You know?
That's true. Yeah.
And like in comparison, like to the people in the West, they don't really care. Yeah, like how people see them, they just do whatever they want. Whereas, Dubai is very, very worried about how it's seen and makes all these kind of efforts to make sure that people are looked after, because I mean that's his whole business. So it's rational. So your kind of your needs are kind of aligned with your government's more or less. I mean that's a better way to be.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
In the West, it's not so much.
And I'm not sure, Steve, if you know, but one of the oldest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world is also from Dubai. They actually got the license literally 15 days before Kraken. So,
Wow.
I'm just trying to look at his phone right now.
Yeah.
So and he was a massive advocate of Monero as well. But he's not, the platform is not dealing with Monero at the moment. But what about the platform that you're building, Steven? Do you want to tell our listeners what that platform is? Because I went to the website, it does look really interesting as well.
I mean, I don't think these exchanges need to fight for Monero, right? Like, I don't think they need to list it. You get a lot of integrated into 0xNull. I've built 2 swap platforms. So there is Trocador and there's Exolix, right? Mm-hmm. And I chose both of those because they had the best reviews, the best privacy, etc.
I like Trocador and StealthX. I think Trocador I favor more, but they're good.
Yeah. I mean, if you talk to the Telegram chat, they're actually quite seem normal. You know what I mean? It's not like this. They're useful. Like when I've had problems with swaps, I've just telegrammed them and say, hey, I've spoken to the exchange. Anyway, I digress. Okay, anyone can buy Monero through these methods because there's no direct link to the account, right? You're using a proxy. So like Trocador goes to one exchange, say for instance, you want to swap Uni for XMR. You send the Uni to a wallet, and then it sends the XMR from a different address, right? So I mean, there's no accounts. So for me, I don't want to build accounts unless it's necessary for the swaps. You don't have an account, right? Because if you have an account, then you're creating metadata. Yeah, I don't want to create metadata because then it creates a liability. It does all this kind of stuff, right? So I mean, it's the same thing with the lending platform. So people see Aave and they see the front end and they see the back end. And like before with Aave, they blocked people at the front end. They geo-block people, and they restricted access at a particular stage where you can still use a smart contract. Yeah. So what I did was I built a lending platform, and then I attached our XMR wallets to that, so people could stake money into Aave and then borrow XMR, or they could borrow anything from Aave. And when they deposited it, again, it was through the same method as I mentioned from Trocador. So they send to a wallet, and then that wallet goes to a gatehead, and then it goes directly into the smart contracts. So, and then I expanded it again. I started using something called Railgun. So Railgun is privacy shield. It's a ZK shield, so it's actually private. But that takes 0.25% of the transaction value to unshield. So when you would shield into Aave, right? So you'd go to our platform front end, you go, okay, I want to deposit some USDT. And then the USDT would go to the bridgehead, and at the bridgehead, it would use Railgun or not use Railgun. So I don't know how much, I don't know if people would want to pay 0.25% for shielding. You know what I mean? It's quite a lot of money, particularly when you're staking USDT, right? So it's only if you're really doing, I don't know, maybe some people do, maybe some people don't. So just I left it as a kind of a bridgehead proxy thing where, it's not intended as a mixer, but it functions as a mixer, right? And then people go in and out. So yeah, that's the whole idea, man. I'm just trying to curate technology that people may or may not know about, right? So for me, like all the heavy privacy guys, they know exactly what's going on. They'll probably never use me, man. They'd use me as a convenience, right? Like all those guys, like if I built a prediction market for them, they were like, I just buzzed my address and then I sent it to Kelsey. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I can't help you, man. But like all these other people, they don't know this stuff exists. Yeah. And for me, like, I just think we need to make the tech useful. Yeah. So I'm just trying to curate tech, stick it together, and then present it in a way that's useful to people. That's the whole idea, man. It's like,
what happens, let's say, if there's any discrepancy between the buyer and seller? How does it get solved? Yeah. Is there like a smart contract that tackles it, or
is there some sort of like a conflict resolution, like between buyers and sellers? Kind of like say you go to Trocador, if there's an issue with the swap, you have like a customer support thing. So is there like some sort of like a conflict resolution between the buyer and the seller?
Yeah, right? Because I API through to Trocador, and then Trocador do the conflict resolution, right? And then say, for instance, even now I had a swap through my own platform, which got stuck with Exolex. And then I contacted Trocador support, and then Trocador support contacted Exolex. I mean, I still rely on those guys because I just API through to those guys, right? So I'm just trying
okay.
You've got this option, you've got this other option. If with the lending platform, you get a problem, then you'd speak to me, right? Because the lending platform, it goes through our server infrastructure, and then it gets sent through the Ave. Okay. So, I mean, if there's necessarily a problem there, I've tested the hell out of that thing, yeah. So like it just works. But if there's ever an issue, this is my face, yeah. So you know exactly who I am. Yeah, I mean that the Abe smart contracts, they just work. Yeah, so I mean they swap forward, they swap back. I also integrated Morpho because people seem to like Morpho. Yeah, so it's like it's the same thing. They're slightly different structures in terms of because. With Morpho, they're more like vaults, so they're not really a smart contract. So you need to stage the deposit. So yeah, I mean, just seeing what people want to use, man. Like I'll build whatever privacy tech people will actually use. I just don't know what it is yet, right? So like I built the prediction markets, and I got some promoter in Ukraine to promote it, and people did use it. They weren't like crazy about it, like it's not. Yeah. So, I mean, I thought like people would love to like bet in private. Yeah. But like people don't really, they just go with the liquidity. It's like, the chicken and
makes
egg
sense.
thing.
Yeah.
Adoption is always a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, man. Like, I suppose like people are building stuff all the time now, right? So like it's to kind of differentiate. I mean, particularly, I think with Polymarket and Kalshi, they were VC backed. So basically, their fees were zero. So, like, I'm waiting to increase their fees. Yeah, just waiting in the wings, like trying to monetize, boys. I'm coming for you. Yeah, but it's it's adoption. I mean, it's also tenure, man. Like, if you go onto any of those platforms, like if you've only been there for 1 month, they don't trust you. 3 months, they don't really trust you, and 6 months, they don't really trust you. So like, I just thought I would just build quietly, test, just look at new tech, bring things on slowly, and just build a long-term reputation, and just wait. Like I've got Margin Syndicate, which can kind of support me.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to monetize my thing. My rake on those markets is like 0.3%. I mean, it's tiny. Like I'm not trying to make money from it. Yeah, I'm just trying to build an eco. That the point is not to make money on one thing. It's to pull people into the eco and get them to use. I mean, I've got a market there where people can buy and sell stuff, which is all transacted in XMR. So yeah, trying a few things, man. It's like trying a few things. I mean, there's a lot. I started putting software on there for free to dodge speed cameras and stuff, but like probably shouldn't discuss that.
Only for Dubai, we'll have to go and edit that part out, but for the parts of the world, just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, it's like for me, like we just need to be equipped. Like we can't be sheep. Yeah, so like it's not that we all
100%.
We need to have the knowledge. Yeah, with no knowledge, then we're just sheep. Yeah, so that's the thing for me. It's not doing the thing. It's just having an understanding so that we're a credible threat to power.
What is it? Yeah, it's 100% correct. Totally agree.
Yeah. But George, I want to ask you about like about that Senate hearing on DeFi. I forgot who the guy is, but
in fact, you know what, Stephen? Just a few weeks ago, there was a Senate hearing, and there's a Senate member called Bill Foster. He's a massive advocate of privacy. I mean, he knows how to write zero knowledge proof, but he's a massive detractor of cryptocurrencies, and he's doing it only for political purposes. Now, his argument is that, when you talk about Bitcoin cryptocurrencies, it is all about, the ability to go ahead and verify the transactions. So why should we have mixers? So he's very much against mixers. He's very much against privacy coins. Now, here's the crazy thing. He's a massive advocate of privacy coins. He knows the technical elements, but only for political reasons. He's saying all of these things. So what is your take regarding that?
Well, he doesn't understand technology, right? Like you've got read keys on Monero.
Now he knows everything. He knows each and everything about Monero.
Lying, man. You can verify the transaction. You can look at
the open key mechanism, right?
Yeah, so his point is, why do you want mixers in that sense? And it was, I believe, the lawyer from Kraken. He was also explaining it to him, and unfortunately, the answer that the guy gave did not make a lot of sense because he was saying that, look, majority of these transactions, cryptocurrency transactions, 85% of them are actually done in centralized exchanges. So he's making an argument, a case for KYC. So that answer, he's saying that, this gives more reasons to have KYC for transactions.
Yeah. I mean, mixers sometimes are incidental. Like your bank's a mixer to a certain extent. Like smart contract is a mixer to a certain extent. Like as long as you don't make a thing about it being a mixer, then it's not a mixer.
Yeah.
Like it just kind of happens. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I just want to add this, like, a couple of days ago, I'm sure, Stephen, you're aware, like, I keep forgetting whether it's the Supreme Court or which is the higher court in New York or something. Crypto mixers is legitimate. Essentially, like, privacy is legal. Like, I don't know if there's a New York court or something like that. So I know the one with as I mentioned about the DeFi guy with the Bill Foster. I know that was like a couple of weeks ago, George, but I know just recently we just saw in the United States that, hey, crypto mixing, it is legal, it's private. So, and I know like the regulators and some of the prosecutors, they always try to find some way to, like screw the American people and everybody else. But I just want to state that, like, what do you say? Like the mixer thing in the United States is actually legitimate. It's not a criminal activity or anything like that. So
there was a report, Marcus, published by the U.S. Department of Treasury, and Scott Bessent, who's the head of the U.S. Department of Treasury. Even he said that using mixing services is perfectly fine. So what I think, a lot of people, only for political purposes, they're going against it. Now, this Bill Foster, let's say, if he's benefited by cryptocurrencies, or if he was a Republican, I'm 100% sure, he would talk all the benefits about privacy coins and zero knowledge proof. It's a really interesting hearing. It's quite a long one.
Yeah, but like, what is the point of cryptocurrency if everything's just a pseudonymous open page? I mean, like, all those, what are those companies that build transaction graphs? Yeah, they make a big business out of it.
Yep.
So I mean,
like chain analysis and stuff, right? Yeah, just mapping the whole Bitcoin network.
Man, like people, for people now, we put up all these barriers to people. We put up all these KYC things, and people hate it, man.
Yeah.
Like, out of all the exchanges I allow for people, even if people can KYC, they go to Blowfit, because they don't have to KYC. Or they're going to hyperlink.
That's true. Yeah.
People just don't want don't want to give that information. So I mean, they just kill themselves, man. Like they just kill the industry. And like I think the industry kind of took on all this KYC thing, and because they thought it would bring money. So it brought money to like Bitcoin, but like everything else just kind of went. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know how everyone else is kind of thinking about it now, but I mean, maybe that's why they're having this resurgence in terms of this narrative of privacy. They're like, okay, well, this didn't serve us, so we're going back to our roots. I don't know, but
I think Stephen, like what you shared about, like for example, the example of Blowfin. I mean, these are examples of like no KYC exchanges, even also with the BitUnix and others too. Like to a certain limit. I mean, there's somewhere like after $500,000 or something like that, or more. Yeah. Like I know, I know it might have changed, but a lot of people were attracted to it. Even also with MEXC too. I remember like there was no KYC and stuff, so it was easy for Americans, participate in the, crypto trading and perps and all that stuff. So psychologically, I think for the retail, I think it was just an easier, much more friendlier user experience. Maybe like I think for some of these exchanges who are putting KYC, I think they're targeting more like your institutions and stuff. So that part I can understand, but in terms of the user experience, I think it kind of like pushed a lot of people away. So or like certain segments. So
yeah, for sure, man. Like if I have institutional clients, I push them towards OKX, and like OKX, I think it was validated by that because they got pushed a whole bunch of money by the Americans. Like I have a problem with Binance because I don't think Binance is tech. So I mean, like I look at them, I look at kind of retail exchanges and I look at institutional exchanges. For me, the institutional exchanges are probably Binance, OKX, and Bybit. I think BitGet wanted to be there, but nah. And then there's there's BingX and all that. There's the rest of them. Yeah. So it put people off, man. So I mean, it's. Yeah, and also like coins constantly dumping. I think that probably put people off more. It's like everything.
Yeah.
I think it's more the problem. It's not the KYC; it's the quality of the
That's true. Yeah. That's true though. But hey, but Stephen, I'm actually quite curious about the name 0xNull. What's the meaning behind it? I know we got a lot of new people like from mine and also George's audience. They're quite curious about crypto and the Web3 space. So what's the inspiration with 0xNull?
Well, 0x is kind of how people would kind of name themselves in terms of the Ethereum space. So like 0x is like a precursor. You have 0x. X, Y, and Z, right? And like IO is more kind of accepted in terms of the crypto space. So a lot of crypto companies now use IO. And then null is zero. Yeah. So like null, the null kind of idea was, we don't capture anything. There's no KYC. There's no metadata. It goes into the null address, the bin. Yeah. And it gets erased completely because, So that was the idea, right? So like, it was like crypto-ish, kind of cypherpunk-ish, and then null, meaning we try and capture nothing, So that's the idea, man. It's just wanting to be, for the reasons that I described to you. It's more attractive to people if you don't have to, like nowadays when you log into something, it's like password 2FA like X, Y, and Z. There's like this whole thing because. Metadata is attacked so much, so I thought, okay, well, let's just have no metadata. Huh? There's nothing to take. So yeah, that was the idea, man. It was just, I think it's a better way to operate. It's just going back to basics. Just have a token associated with a token. Tokens a particular hash. You stick the token in. You just save the token. And you don't have to put in all your details. Like it's just annoying for people. So it's not just a privacy thing; it's also a friction thing. Like the less metadata you demand from people. I mean, like how many companies lose when people kind of just, people don't want to paste in all their various details into a transaction, right? It's like, I don't know. Yeah, like to me, it's a friction thing. And like I didn't think it served the customers, so I'm not going to capture it because I don't want to be Facebook and sell people's data. I mean, that's kind of my idea, right? It's just build something that's useful for people. That's not trying to screw them over some way, It's just, because I mean, trust is at an all-time low, man. It's like it's so difficult to kind of get something through. Yeah.
True. No, true. As someone, who's worked with, a couple of, crypto exchanges and startups and stuff, like, definitely, in terms of business development and marketing and stuff, like, trying to scale trust is one of the most difficult things. If you're like a marketer, whether you're in the tech space or crypto or any other thing. So definitely there's a lot of like, trust issues, and I would say like, influencer fatigue. I mean, you name it. So, I think, there is going to be kind of like, an upheaval, and also maybe some, big changes, big shifts taking place. How it's going to happen, I don't know, but definitely, as a marketer, I definitely agree on the trust side of things. So there definitely.
Yeah, I mean, like, people smell bullshit now. Here, it's like, it's happened to them so many times now. People smell bullshit a mile away, man. It's like, yeah, you can't market your way into,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I feel sorry for marketing at the moment. Like,
yeah, I get you.
How do you win? Like, I don't know. Like, for marketing, I mean, I tried with the influencer, and he was a Russian guy, and it was okay. Like, I just thought it's in the proof. Yeah. So for me, like, I can push this product. Now it's just like, okay, just chill out. Just let some time pass. Just do your thing.
Yeah.
So if you can't push these things, man, it's like it just needs to it needs to take its time. It needs to settle in people's minds. Yeah, like, and this helps. Thank you very much. Yeah, but
Yeah. Good point. Really, thanks, Roman. Yeah.
LinkedIn buddy.
Yeah, I think he. Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, thanks, Roman. I appreciate it. No, that definitely be. In terms of blockchain analytics, I think it's all like kind of mapped out and stuff. So, I think this is where like, privacy tech comes in. So, but anyways, back to 0xNull. Hey, George, do you remember, Amir Starkey, his project?
Oh yeah.
Open Bazaar.
Open Bazaar.
Yeah.
About right. So he's in the UK.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
he
true.
had launched a
he's
project
working on
called
DeFi
as
and stuff.
Open Bazaar, which was years ago. And I think
Yeah.
he started the project in just a matter of 6 hours, isn't it? And that worked on, where buyers and sellers. It was essentially a marketplace where people could buy and sell things. And one of the problems back then was, a lot of people were saying that they'd received the product, but they did not actually sell it. And there was a lot of drama going on. And unfortunately, the project did actually shut down in 2021. But what about the project that you're building, Stephen? Is there like a marketplace, and can people buy and sell physical stuff as well?
Yeah, they can. So like I took, because I don't understand I don't know where people are from deliberately. Yeah. They can buy anything that's green or gray in any jurisdiction. That's up to the buyer and seller to kind of agree, like it's on the seller if they sell to someone.
Yeah,
who's outside. So I've got a few things. I've spoken to some partners. I mean, like, I had one guy who wanted me to do steroids, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do steroids. Man. It's like because it's illegal. But I mean, you can get some precursors which can help you. And then like stuff. There's one guy who did like aphrodisiac chocolates, and those are legal in the UK, but they're illegal in Holland. So I don't know why.
Yeah.
So it work, man. Yeah. So like it's. So we're just trying these things, just like, hey, it's an open market. It's been between the buyer and seller. I'm not trying to get in the way.
Yeah.
Trying to facilitate things and trying to be infrastructure as opposed to, trying to make money off a marketplace. I just saw what was happening with Etsy and all these things, and we're just going the wrong way, man. Like, again, there was like it's heavy stuff, and they're like directly plug into HMRC, and it's like, it's horrible, man. It's like these people are just selling something they knitted on, Like, I'd love to have those people on the platform. It's like knitting socks or something, and then to sell socks with XMR. That would make my day, man. It'd be so cool because it's outside the panopticon. Yeah. It's just,
Yeah.
That's what I want to. I just want to do away with this whole idea that privacy is for like people who only want to do like dodgy stuff. Like it just isn't. That's what Wit and I, because he's trying to do this invoicing system with XMR because we've got view keys with XMR, so you can see into the transaction. Just make it more of a method of exchange, which is private, which is how we prefer to interact, right? Like you'd rather just trade cash between this guy and this guy. It's up to them,
right?
You know, the problem's theirs. You know, like this is not up to us. So it's just trying to change the image of privacy. Like most guys building with Monero wouldn't be on here talking, because they'd be like building a DNM, but like that's not my thing, right?
Oh, so okay.
But there's this other guy, his name on LinkedIn, and he's putting out some great stuff. I need to I'll put it in the link later. He's a former DNM admin. He's putting out some fantastic privacy tech stuff, man. I need to look it up. Excuse me if I don't remember his name, but he's a good guy.
Okay.
So like all these guys who are doing this stuff, they're not all baddies. I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
Kind of said like people trying to pretend like we're baddies and we're not. We're just on the side of the people. That there's a difference, And then so then that sometimes puts us in opposition to a government. If the government's good, then they're not in opposition to us, right? Because then the people are aligned with the government. But if they're in direct opposition and they're trying to do stuff like they're doing in the States, they're trying to make a big deal mixes, and it's like, so what? It's like people are mixing their money. It's their money, I mean, the Railgun, they did this thing where they checked for OFAC, so they checked to get OFAC. So like Railgun, as technology, they tried to kind of work around that. So like people are trying to work around that and to show, we're not trying to like just facilitate people doing stuff, That doesn't make sense to us. It makes sense to us if everyone kind of use it. That's the problem I have with Zcash, right? They've got this, you can shield, you can unshield, and then when you have shielded Zcash, then it looks dodgy. Yeah. So like if you have Zcash that's shielded and then the unshielded stuff, it looks like you don't have
exactly.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense, man. It's just like just shield everything, right? And then everything's put into that kind of context, and then everyone gets the privacy, which is the point. Yeah. But I mean, like chain analysis, definitely, man. Like chain analysis, like directly into the government, dude. It's like, but Rumi, you should look up they had like this internal expose, and they were talking about Monero, and the guy was like he was a chain analysis guy, and he was like saying really good things about Monero. It's like, there's everything else, and then Monero, we can't do X, Y, and Z, and it's really the gold standard. We're like, like, that's really funny. So I mean, for sure. And then for us in the UK, we've got who's that crazy guy, like Alex Karp or whatever his name is, like what's that? Palantir, and I like working.
Oh, Alex Karp, yeah. Oh man.
It's like, how can we trust him, man? This guy's crazy. He's like full of white powder, like jumping up and down in his chair, like kicking his legs, and he's like laughing about killing.
I mean, he was definitely on some psychotropic drugs, that's for sure. I think that's I mean, some of the
just say he's on drugs, easy,
yeah. But even also like even without drugs too. I mean, he had said some pretty let's say gnarly things, which kind of goes against human rights and stuff. So I don't know. It's I know a lot of people have don't really have much positive things to say about him, but then again, he puts it out there, and he is quite bold. And it is funny, the word Palantir comes from the movie Lord of the Rings, right? So the all-seeing eye. So. That should be.
Are they involved with Anthropic as well, by any chance? Or are they involved with Anthropic? Because there was a bit of drama right now between the US Department of War and Anthropic. There's a legal court case going on where they've actually ditched
Palantir,
Anthropic.
I don't think so, but that's more like a US government.
Palantir would using the stuff our API. So when you're working with AI, if you segment stuff, you chunk stuff, then you can get it to do whatever, right? So they were getting Anthropic to do war plans. And they were like, they weren't into it because, the US was doing with, back in the old days, that would be illegal. Yeah.
Back at the
Going in and like snatching someone's governments and putting pictures with him in handcuffs. I mean, it's crazy shit, man. It's like, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So like, like everyone, I think it's reasonable to be a little bit suspicious when your government's like all big pals with Palantir and they give them all this access to your private data. I mean, like, how can you trust them, man? It's like, how can you trust them? Right. So I mean, it's just that. It's just not rational for me to like trust these guys in any way, shape, or form. So I mean, I'd rather I just made the website for me. I can find all my services. It's like, it's no fuss. It's like super easy. Yeah.
And Stephen,
that's why.
In England in 2010, I was working for the UK Consensus. I was working as a team manager, and you'd be surprised that the UK Consensus, the company handling it was Lockheed Martin. And even everyone was really shocked, like, how can they be of all of everyone? How is it that they are in charge of UK census? And it was very few people, even protested that, but that was really scary.
Wow, that is wild.
And the Consensus had each and every detail.
Our government is so weird. They just don't listen to the people at all, man. They just do their own thing, So there's obviously someone controlling these guys. Yeah. That's why they're just not behaving rationally. Yeah. So like I mean, all those guys like Lockheed and Bechtel and all these kind of companies. That's why they go blow up stuff. Yeah, it's because they have to rebuild it. Yeah. So like it's nice. The whole military-industrial complex. We'll talk about it. Yeah. Because we're talking about not funding the military-industrial complex. This is my segue. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
all those guys. I mean, like the billions and billions and billions of dollars, like throwing some missiles around for a few days. It's shocking. And then they go, "Oh yeah, we've brought peace to this area now. Let's go and rebuild some buildings." Yeah. Like, no one believes it, though. Yeah. And I feel sorry for you. No. You taking collateral damage. You're trying to like. We just don't want to be involved, guys. And like these guys start throwing lobbing rockets at you. Like it sucks, yeah. It's like, yeah.
No, sure, yeah. But also, like globally too. I mean, like, definitely people are kind of feeling it. I mean, the Japanese markets are definitely feeling it. And also, I'm sure, like in Europe and also in the United States too. I think politically, like things are just going buck wild crazy. So. I mean, I don't know. I guess eventually there'll be some more economic pains, but we'll see. Though, I mean, for us, we're just taking one day at a time, and like the UAE government is doing the best they can to manage the situation, and with long-term storage and supplies. So, by God's grace, I think it's still holding strong. Under the circumstances. So,
I mean, like. I think we can kind of fix it now. So like we see through everything that they're doing now, right? So you knew I'd be like this if I built something like the 0xNull, man. I'd have these ideas in my head. We're kind of seeing through. For me, like when JFK was killed, I think he was going against what the CIA was becoming.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Break into 1,000 pieces. Yeah, that. I think any libertarian or the free market guys would remember that quite well.
Yeah. So that we've kind of just gone that way since JFK. I think that's kind of where we went wrong, and then we just printed all this money and inflated assets, and it's just theft, man. It's just theft. They're just like these young guys they can't get houses. No one's having kids anymore. It's just it's not a public good. So like that, the first thing for us is to recognize there's a problem. Yeah. And the first thing to do when you recognize a problem, you talk about it. Yeah. Which I think, as you said, we can have a conversation about it. We can see, okay, we're seeing these issues in society. For me, what I'm building is trying to facilitate a solution. That's my thinking. It's a philosophical project. Yeah. It's because I believe X and Y. I know how to build these technologies. This is my contribution to humanity. It's that high-minded, man. That sounds ridiculous, yeah. But for me, it's I know how to build this tech. I want to put it together. I want to help people wherever I can. I want to explain how these things work. Like I explain how compartmentalization works. Like I don't care. I'll just tell you, because it's simply the simple things can help you so much just in terms of your data, your data sanitation. It's OPSEC, man. It's just like, you don't leave everything out there. It's totally unnecessary. You don't need part of kind of data set to kind of see how and that goes into your data set that Facebook have collected, and it's nasty stuff. I don't want to be involved in that. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to be involved in your nice Opticon Sauron vibe. It doesn't do anything for me. So I just want to get out of it, man. That's all I'm trying to do. Like that's all I want.
Yeah.
I don't want to be involved in that as much as possible.
Sure. Yeah. But yeah, just wanted to kind of like dive deeper into 0xNull. I mean, just if you could kind of like educate us on how the prediction markets on 0xNull works. So
sure. I mean, I've got a front end. So the front end has something called cache. So that's a server cluster which is sitting inside and outside of Europe. And that's a Unix server, so it's a Linux server. And what that does is it has API calls. So like I discussed this. There's people said you can go to Chainlink, you can go to there's other guys Pith, and I was like, I'll just build it on Unix, and then I'll do an API call from the odds API. So for me, the prediction markets just needed to run themselves, right? Like I see these things with Kalshi and with who those other guys. I don't remember their name. They're so unimportant. What are they called again? Anyway, they're building these things, and then Kalshi takes one position, and then the other guys take a different position. That to me can't happen. So like I won't take a market unless it has to have an oracle resolution. So there needs to be one oracle for it, and that there can't be two answers possible. So the simplest thing to do with that is to do it with sports, and then you have agreed methods about what you do with draws. So like with draws, I don't offer a draw. This is a parimutuel pool. Either the win-losers, there's either a win or a loss based on the bet. If there's a draw, I just return people's money, right? Because I can't determine, and I don't take any money from it. So the only time that I take 0.4% VIG is when someone actually wins a pool. So if someone puts money on a particular pool, like say, I don't know, Northampton versus Brighton or something, I bet on Northampton and no one bets on Brighton, the Northampton guy gets his money back.
Yeah.
Right? That's why you see so many draws on our list, is because we need two sides to a bet. But then with a parimutuel pool, just to understand how it works, so like if some person bets like 2 XMR on Northampton and 1 XMR on Brighton, if Brighton wins with 1 XMR, they take the 2 XMR from the Northampton guys, So it's a winner-takes-all scenario. So you need to be careful about the amount that you bet because they're no odds, It's a parimutuel pool. It's kind of how horse racing used to work.
Mm-hmm.
So parimutuel for me, it's more honest because I'm not a market maker. So like I'm not b-booking, right? Like if you've got a lot of sports books, they're b-booking, right? So like a lot of these influencers, they're selling to these dodgy brokers. The brokers are usually b-books, so they take the opposite side of a lot of these bets. I'm not getting involved in the bet. The bet's between people, right? I'm just trying to act as infrastructure and facilitator. So, but the thing about parimutuel pools is you need volume, So you need people building volume first. So like, for me, like I'll just keep running it, man. That's the whole thing about building an ecosystem is make people aware of it, and like someone will, and then someone will, and someone will, and eventually build that. We'll see. But I mean, that's it, right? So like on a draw, you get your money back. On a win, then you winner takes all. And then only in a win we take 0.4%. So like most of the money goes to the people. It was cool. We had some esports too. I really like the esports because I don't think a lot of people are doing that stuff. And we had like a lot of the Russian guys were like Counter Strike, so we had some betting on Counter Strike. Fun, yeah.
Nice.
So, hopefully we'll do the Dota International and stuff, and that'll be cool, man. I just enjoy it, with the esports page. I get it to flip to whatever the biggest streamers on Twitch, so people can be introduced to the games too, right? So people, then they're not playing these games, they can show them, hey, these are the games that where people are making money from this. You can get involved in this, right? So and then but wanted it to be that's why I hired the influencers, because I wanted to be a positive feedback loop, get more people into gaming, get money back to the trying to build some kind of synchronicity, right? But I don't know. Some guy told me to do horse racing. Horse racing API is quite expensive, so maybe I will. Maybe the odds basically does everything, man. It does Dubai basketball. It does NBA. So I thought that was important in terms of, not that you'd ever use it because you're in Dubai, but they have all these various sports except horse racing. Yeah. And I tried to bring in these Russian fight sports because I thought that would be fun. And slap fighting.
Oh, you mean one of those slap fights? Oh, yeah, that's what I said. Yo, those oh man, those are wild. Oh my gosh.
They're horrible, man.
Dana White has launched one as well. They're quite popular in terms of the views.
Stuff,
yeah.
Man. Yeah. Yeah, they wanted to have a beer and watch people slap one another. It's wow, man. So it's cool, yeah. I'll build the market for that. It's you guys can buy
No, but it is right. No, but it is in terms of the velocity of growth. As a marketing person, those events are getting a lot of traction. I mean, just because how wild it is, and because honestly, I thought it was some sort of a Russian thing or a white people thing. Now I'm seeing Indians getting into it. I'm seeing some African guys coming into it. It is really capturing the cultural, I don't know what's the word, lexicon or whatever, this narrative, whatever. It's it brought people together. That's a crazy.
That's what we want, man.
This UFC guy, Dana White, he has started his own championship for slapping his, and the number of views are record breaking as well.
Championship, right? So he built slap fighting. So it is Dana, yeah. And then I tried to find something they used to be K1, and now they're called Rise.
Yeah.
So there's a whole bunch of Eastern, because I like the Eastern fight sports too, because they allowed you to do soccer kicks on the ground.
Yeah.
Because I used to train Muay Thai.
Yeah.
And the Americans kind of upper body ground and pound.
Right. Yeah.
I like Sakuraba and all those other guys from that.
Sakuraba was the Gracie killer, right?
He was.
Yeah.
But they can do soccer kicks in the ground and croak up, and that was such a cool era, man. So just trying to bring that back, and try to mix things up. Yeah, I found some Russian fight sports stuff that's quite difficult to kind of oracleize. Yeah, because I have to do this weird scraping thing. Yeah. So there's one where they do bare knuckle fighting next to hay bales. Yeah, so that was quite cool. So I was speaking to this Russian dev who was quite into that. So hopefully, because the Americans will love that stuff, man. They're really, so the Russians fun too. They had that one guy who was beating up his dealer or something. Man. It's really
Now, regarding these bets, Stephen, I mean, do you go ahead and decide, which bet should go on, or can users also decide? Let's say you have X number of
They can decide. I try to pull all markets that I can have an oracle for, right? So with the odds, I'll just take everything from the odds, which has an upcoming game. My server looks at, okay, what's upcoming, and then it'll put those as available. So people can, I'll show people the markets that are available, and they can create a market in anything that's available. Okay. So I try to push everything that I can oracleize, because remember, my idea is there needs to be an oracle for something, that there definitely needs to be an answer, because I don't want to get involved. Yeah. So I either need to win or lose, and I need an authoritative source to do the win or the lose. I have that, I'll try present it, and then you can select any market that you want and create any market that you want. So I mean, basically, my idea was, I'll put out all these things at the particular cost, and like maybe some people will. I don't know what people want in various corners of the world, right? Like I've got like AFCON stuff there. I've got stuff in Cambodia. Like I just don't know what people want to bet on, man. It's like it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to facilitate stuff, and if people want to bet on it, it's available. I think in terms of the sports that we have available, I think it's very, very wide, because we're not market making, right? We're just creating pari-mutuel pools. If people want to bet on something, they can bet on something. Yes. Yeah. Make sense?
Yep.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Oh, so you can kind of create like custom markets, new categories, and like in the coming future, in the 0xNull platform, essentially.
Yeah. I can build any market. Like some guy asked me to build governance, so he wanted to bet on governance, which I thought was crazy, but he was like into it. So I built a governance section. So like if people want me to build markets, I build markets for them. I don't mind. I just like I'll do it as long as it gets traffic. Yeah. So if you think a market's a good idea, tell me, and then I'll build it. Yeah. No costs. But yeah, he wants to see whether or not Bitcoin soft fork ahead of Quantum. So I was like, okay, cool. So I built a governance section. So like if people want to bet on governance protocols, but then I said to him, there needs to be definitive rules. What are the rules for determination? So I don't want to get into a situation where like a Kalshi situation. One guy says one thing and one guy says another thing. Yeah, the rules need to be clear.
Okay. No, it makes sense. Okay, that's good. And thank you for kind of like giving us kind of like the behind the scenes and the mechanics of 0xNull. But here's my favorite question. I want to ask you is, and I'm sure like also the audience and the folks out in LinkedIn and other social platforms, why did you choose Monero XMR as the exclusive currency? How come no stable coins like USDT, USDC, or maybe or any other privacy coins like Zcash? I guess why Monero, the exclusive currency of 0xNull?
Because any other cryptocurrency creates metadata, yeah. And then we talked about Zcash, and it has imperfect security because you can partially shield it, so that creates metadata, implied metadata. So the entire schema, if everything is encrypted, then it's encrypted. Then I don't know where people are sending the Monero from. That's important for me. Like, I don't want to know where you're from. Yeah? Like I don't want to get involved in any of that kind of stuff, because as soon as I can see that stuff, then I become liable for that stuff. Yeah. So like, I just don't want to know. Yeah. So like that's why, yeah, XMRs, because I can't see the source. It could be some wallet that someone just created a second ago that I have no information about their wallet. Yeah. So for me, it's because it makes metadata impossible, and that is the only cryptocurrency that allows me to do that. Right. And it's got good liquidity. Yeah. So like for me, and then you see, if you look at the context of DNMs, it was adopted. So like, it's the most functional cryptocurrency bar stable coins, right? Like people use it, right? And then if I just make it easy for people to use swap platforms like Exolix and Trocador, they might use it. Yeah. Like just try and reduce those friction points. Yeah. So that's why, man. It's because it makes metadata impossible is the short answer. And then, people are protected. Yeah. So like, it's to protect me, and it's to protect the people on the platform. Yeah.
Excellent. The only thing I can add is, people often say that one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin. I kind of disagree. I think one Monero is one Monero, because when you talk about it being fungible, you can make an argument that one Monero equals one Monero. When you talk about Bitcoin, newly minted Bitcoins are often sold at a higher price. Confiscated Bitcoins are sold at a cheaper price. In Monero, you can't do any of those things, isn't it? So you make an argument that one Monero is equivalent to one Monero.
That's an interesting way to look at it, right? Yeah, like in terms of true fungibility, that's correct. Yeah, like you do get dirty Bitcoin,
Yep.
Which people don't want, and that's forever dirty Bitcoin. So I mean, that's for me again. That shows the metadata problem. Yeah, it's like that Bitcoin will forever be dirty. Yeah, where like I have people swapping XMR to XMR, like internal to my swaps. I don't know why they're doing it. It's like it's paranoid, but like I don't know anything about that swap, and that XMR could be that XMR on the next swap. It's completely fungible. Like this, you can't. I mean, like with the new, I think there's a new upgrade, which is they currently have something called ring signatures, which I think is about 8 or 10. Yeah, and soon with an upgrade, the ring signature is going to be the entire network. Yeah. So in terms of that's true fungibility. And it's the only thing if you have a ring signature at the moment, if you look at the Monero address, you've got 8 different outputs. With I think it's Dandelion, it's going to be the entire network, which is going to be incredible in terms of the privacy of Monero. So it's a big.
There's a question for you, Stephen.
Yeah.
I think his question is, what do you think of African market? Yeah.
It's very, very, very important market, man. Like, because we had M-Pesa in Kenya. Yeah. So like M-Pesa was a big thing. They could use, they were using mobile money a long time ago. So yeah, I mean, it's particularly in terms of Nigeria. Like I'm very proud of the Nigerians in terms of, the government tried to crack down on crypto and they were like, nah.
yeah. Man, they don't play, man.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, for them, stablecoin is a big deal, right? Like, because, like not many people want to hold Naira, no offense, dude. So like, they probably want to hold dollars, yeah? So like, it makes it easy. So, I mean, it makes sense for the youth population just with the value of their money, It's starker than for us, in more established markets. Like our money doesn't like inflate and inflate to that extent. But I mean, it's just for security. But I mean, like obviously it's the youngest continent. So like, I mean, there's a lot that can happen, man. Like I'm very pro, particularly on Nigeria and to some extent South Africa, and then a lot of the population's sharp, man. So like I hope they make something of it. Yeah, I hope they get an opportunity, which they may do. We'll see. I put a lot of my kids' money in Africa actually, like because I thought like a 20-year time frame that they're probably a bit better than now, right? You'd think, yeah. Whereas probably the West's probably, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, definitely we're seeing like some. I guess from the West, like the Western Hemisphere, definitely I do believe it's kind of like going in a decline. I mean, I still have some of my American friends over there and stuff, but many of them have moved to like South America. There's some here in sunny side Dubai. Others also going to Southeast Asia and stuff. I think I'm also seeing some interest in Africa, mostly in who I'm talking to. Some of them are like in Kenya or something. So. I mean, there is a rising talent. Google has also like kind of like a startup accelerator thing over there. I mean, I don't know the details, but I think there is a trajectory, and I think Rumi is right about like a very strong youth population, right? So, I guess that's more long term. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, like Kenya's important in terms of telecom landing stations. So I think Mombasa is connected directly to the gyro. So, it's important for those sorts of data centers. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, I would go and like I made this case about like saying, hey, if you want to have meaning in your life, spend some time in Africa because things are and it has more a community kind of idea as opposed to a kind of individual in the West. So yeah, like I could see myself living in a nice place in Maputo by the beach, and you can go and have lobster and a beer and chips, etc., on a nice sandy beach. Lovely, man. Nice big pool. Yeah, that's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, like for me, I like people have the wrong idea about Africa. Yeah, so like people like saying, "Oh yeah, all this dangerous danger." That I mean, it's not really. Yeah. The only place that I felt unsafe was in the Congo. Yeah. Everywhere else is okay. Yeah. I'm so horrible about the Congo. I feel bad, man. Like they're really nice people. Yeah, they've got good music. Yeah, but I mean, it's a bit heavy with the government. Yeah, okay. It's yeah.
No, Stephen, the next thing what I wanted to ask is, right now there's a lot of hype regarding tokenization. Me and Marcus, we always talk about, tokenization. I don't
always,
think so
Stephen, always is like the hottest topic.
But
sorry, I didn't mean to. Sorry, I just trying to be funny and like candid about it. Everybody's talking about it. It's like.
The only thing I wanted to ask is, I'm not sure if you've looked at Tether. They're working with Hadron, and that works on Liquid Network. So it works something similar to Monero, pretty much same as how Monero works. So it's essentially a consortium who approves these. So how it works is there's a consortium. Instead of block miners, there's a consortium, selected people. So that part is centralized. But how it works is exactly like Monero. There's ring signature, something similar to ring signature. But let's say I and Marcus do any transaction on, I'm talking about tokenization. No one knows what the transaction is, no amount, absolutely nothing. But the consortium is the one that goes and puts it onto block. Then it gets added on to Bitcoin blockchain. And that guys from Tether, they are massive on privacy. They work on a whole bunch. And they also have key.io, which is, pure peer-to-peer. I'm not sure about how the metadata for that thing works, but definitely worth looking into that.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I keep money, I keep my money in USDT. I prefer the Tether guys. Like, I actually talk to the Tether guys. Like,
oh, nice.
Sorry.
Oh no, interesting. I just commented.
I've spoken to the Circle guys. The Circle guys are kind of like a US telecom. So they kind of remind me of like working for a big kind of US telecom. Like I used to work for like Global Crossing and those kind of people. They remind me of that sort of company. Tether seems more like a software company, and they're a bit more. I mean, they're not so. They're towing a line at the moment because they're so big. But I like the fact that people attack them all the time. Like that for me is like very encouraging. Like if someone gets attacked 100% of the time, and like everyone's always got some shit to talk about them, then that's great. Yeah, they're still standing after all these years. So yeah, I mean, like I was looking at gold. Yeah, so you've got options. If you've got ZAOT, you can use Tether's product, and that's got money internal to Switzerland. If you go with PaxG, then the money's in the US. So it's their choices there. Their choices. But so for those kind of combined reasons, I prefer to use their sort of products.
They do have key.io, which is like, video sharing platform. So you can essentially do what we're doing right now, but it's peer-to-peer, and you can also send transactions. And I think you definitely like that one. It works in a whole bunch. And I think me and Marcus, you have tried that as well once, right, Marcus?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I know that was like a long time ago.
Yeah, if you can integrate that.
Let me just share the link over here so people can, if folks are curious, let me see if I get. Let me just share it right here. Keep an eye out.
And if you get time, Stephen, you should definitely check out the first audit report of Tether. The only thing I can say is I would just hope you don't laugh after looking at the first audit report, because it was literally a pie diagram. And the pie diagram literally said cash 47%, securities 24%. That's it. That was the official audit report.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah. Like the thing is, if you want to be fully audited, then you kind of come under the panopticon. So it's a difficult thing. Yeah. So it comes more down to trust. Yeah. So like I said, they've been going for a long time. Yeah. And you look at people's motivations, like why would they rug? Yeah. Like I don't know why they would rug, And they've been tested a lot of times. So, when you kind of read between the lines, if you look at kind of official documentation, if we're suspicious of that official documentation now, then we need to read between the lines. Yeah,
True.
so we need to look at evidence.
100% agree. I've always been a detractor of Tether. Even the audit report, it's not even a report, it is more of a statement of the audit report, which is done by a firm in Italy, which, by the way, has been fined heavily. So,
It's the cost of doing business, man. It's like
Exactly. I was about to say. You're right, Stephen.
It's like HSBC for the drug dealing that's there.
Yeah. So I think with HSBC, if my memory serves me well, I think they were fined like, say, $700 million for funneling the Colombian cartel's money. I forgot some FARC cartel. I know some cartel thing. I mean, to me, I'm more like a conspiracy scientist. I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure the cartels got funded by the CIA or one of the alphabet agencies in some form or fashion. So, not a surprise.
The CIA set it up, the HSBC then facilitated, right? And that's why they only get the 700. Yeah, see how this works.
Yeah. Oh no, they got fined. They got fined $700 million actually, but in terms of funneling the money, it's somewhere around like maybe 4 billion or 5. I don't know. I could be wrong, but again, it's just cost of doing, cost of doing business.
But that's not the crazy part, The lady who was in charge, Marcus. You know what happened to her, right? The lady
no. Please tell me more.
I think she's working for World Economic Forum. If you can check that, I'm 1,000,000% sure. So the lady who was in charge of when they found out that she was the main person responsible for it, I'm not sure if she was she was asked to leave or was she transferred, but she's currently working for the World Economic Forum. 100% sure on that. So yeah.
Yeah, but there was also
my God.
There's questions about Proton. I posted this thing about like they've got someone, a marketing ladies from the. It's like, guys, you can't have a marketing lady from the web as your marketing person if you're working with Proton.
Yeah, but Stephen, I know you mentioned about Proton Mail, but you also did mention about Tutor Mail, or now it's tutor.io or something. What's the story behind Tutor?
Yeah, I think Tutor was kind of Swiss. They did have a guy who went in under oath, and he said, I was working for the government and I was putting stuff into Tutor. So it was suspicious, but apparently that was debunked. Yeah. So like,
okay.
I think if you're smart enough, just build your own web server, man. It's like it's the safest thing, and then you don't have to rely on these mail service providers. I can't really vouch for any of them, man. I just don't know. I use because it's encrypted to kind of talk to customers when they're sending me like API keys and stuff. But I'm not going to put I don't know. I wouldn't trust them, So
yeah,
I don't know. I'm sure they would roll over on you if you were a baddie. So I mean, it's not something to trust with your life. That's for sure.
Understood. Okay. Yeah, no, because like many years ago, I mean, I think I do use Proton and stuff, like, for like certain stuff, but because I know it was kind of like, recommended like back in the day. This is like 2016, 2017 or something. So it was just relatively new. It came like same time with StartMail and all these other. I think there was a website called restoreprivacy.com or something like that. It's kind of like how do you say? Kind of like an aggregator kind of deal. Let's see. But it was a good website, I think. So,
yeah, I mean, there's no perfect. I mean, this is the kind of thing that I was trying to say with the privacy guys. I mean, like, of course, I would like to do things all in smart contracts, but I mean, it's not. You can't, It's like,
yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
The problem, I mean, I looked at the technology like Aztec, and you can't do lots of complicated stuff, and then you still have metadata because you have to use addresses. I mean, it's very hard to do privacy with because Monero doesn't support any of that stuff, man. It doesn't support smart contract.
Yeah.
Like there was Secret for a while. It had no liquidity, but like I spoke to a guy who'd worked with him, but I mean, Secret, the encryption's based on the Intel CPU. It's like, to me, like the Intel CPU's like got backdoors in it. Yeah, so like it's crazy. Why would you encrypt something with it where it has to be with an Intel CPU? It's just dumb, man. It's just like, it looks so sus. Yeah, it looks so sus. So like, it's really hard. To find kind of smart contract privacy stuff, because it's very difficult to do. Yeah. So like Monero, I mean, I'd love Monero did smart contracts, but I don't think they see it as part of their remit.
Privacy with smart contract. Privacy with smart contract, I believe, is expensive as well, isn't it? It does actually cost a lot in order to do one smart contract. If you I think Anish Mohammed, who's working for Panther Protocol, he had a session and he was saying that in order to incorporate, let's say, zero knowledge proof for one smart contract, I hope I'm not mistaken, but the cost is well over $300 or $400 per transaction. That does become ridiculously expensive, and this was at least a year ago.
But that was like a couple of years ago, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, was it 2022 or something? So I don't know what's the computational power or the cost behind it, but maybe Stephen, you may have a better, like a pricing mechanism than us.
It's expensive. The compute's expensive. Like when I did it on Arbitrum, like I had about like 4 or 5 different RPCs, and like if you use Railgun, when Railgun does a recompose, tries to build a Merkle tree, it smashes your APIs, man. It's like, even if you do a restore from points, like, it just kills you in terms of API because it's so busy. Yeah. So that the compute is nuts. Yeah. So I mean that's really, really the problem. It's just cheaper to do the compute on a Linux server. It's way cheaper, man. It's it's a tough one. It's a tough one. They're like, all the ZK stuff, like with Railgun, it's just crazy. I mean, it's quicker if you pre-compose the Merkle tree, but I mean, it's expensive in terms of API calls. Plus, it has a 0.25% charge. So I mean, you do have privacy type solutions, and they're imperfect, and they cost a lot of money. So I mean, it's kind of there, right?
Yeah, but I just want to go back to Aztec. I mean, just for our audience knowledge, like Aztec is kind of like a privacy layer 2 for Ethereum. Is that correct, or did I get it wrong?
It's been building for years, and they do private compute. But the thing about Aztec, it still has metadata. I could build prediction markets based on Ethereum smart contract on Aztec, but it's brand new. So they've just launched the blockchain. So we'll see how they go. But the problem is it's a layer 2 on Ethereum. It's not like a private blockchain. So it's kind of like privacy has been bolted on. So it's a bit sus. Yeah, I mean there are use cases for it. Like private transactions, or if you want to make. If you're a bank or something, then you could probably use it. Just for me, it's just with the whole metadata angle, it just didn't seem to work. Like the trade-off wasn't good, So yeah, it's not where I need it to be, man. Like for me, like I don't know, it needs to be affordable, and it needs to not capture metadata, and I don't want people attaching their wallets to it. I just don't want that. So it's very difficult to do that under the auspices of an EVM, even if it's a layer 2. But I mean, it's useful. Like I said, it's useful for like contracts, etc. So
To digress, Stephen, what did your expertise in this? And this is to do with, I'm not sure if you follow Candace Owens. I mean, she's gone completely berserk and mental right now. So anyway, she's talking about, the whole Charlie Kirk assassination attempt. And she was talking about, where someone is sending her information and she's talking about metadata. But the problem is, she's taking videos and photos, but that metadata, apparently it can be edited. So let's say if you go to the developer mode on the phone, you can go and edit it. So I think what you're saying is absolutely correct. If the metadata does not exist, the problem does not arise in the first place itself, isn't it?
Yeah. So, I mean, if on a photograph, for instance, then you'll have metadata associated with that photograph. So that's how they, that's how they capture some people on the run for the law. They get hold of the photo, they look at the metadata, and they pick it up from there. But then, like you're right, then metadata exists. So either the metadata then has two states: it's correct or it's incorrect, right? But the metadata then needs to exist. Whereas if you never capture the metadata, there's a null state. So there's no question then. There's no question to be answered, and it's impossible to answer the question. So it just moves away from that, and you stop those sorts of conversations, right? Like with the advent of AI, etc., like you see with what's going on between Iran and the US, you just don't know what's going on. It's like it's really hard to kind of figure out what's going on because information is war now. Like everyone says one thing, the other person says the other thing. It's just all made up, So it's better not to even have the conversation because trust is in even shorter supply now because you have all these very elaborate scams and you have all these very very difficult conversations around metadata which come up on a day-to-day basis. So best to just avoid it. I think that's just the simplest thing for me because it's been proven to be a detriment to the customers, all the hacks and everything. If you go on the dark web, you can find information for so many people get hacked all the time, man. It's like some of them pay, some of them don't pay, but I mean, a lot of that data is not just sloshing around. So I mean, it's just terrifying, Like for me as a dev, I wouldn't want to be responsible for someone's data in that way. For me, it's terrifying. It's things can happen to people,
Not sure that.
And I mean, that's for my safety and it's for my customer safety. I just don't want to know.
And am I right in saying that people like you are more susceptible to being hacked? Because, you have useful information, isn't it? Compared to, let's say, average individuals, let's say like me and other guys who are not so much into the tech savvy space. So I think people would try to hack you because that way they'll get more information, right?
Yeah, for sure. So like, if I had metadata, then that would be a hard part, right? So like, if I collected that kind of information, it could potentially be high value targets because they're seeking privacy-related services. People would want to look, whether or not there was any issue with the things that people were doing, right? Like, it would be interesting. It would be interesting data, and they would try to hack me. That's just a headache I don't want, man.
Exactly.
I mean, I think I can defend against it. I've hardened everything, But I mean, I just don't want to deal with that. So like, that's why I just want to try and keep it simple. Because if it ever does scale, then I'm sure I will be attacked. So minimal surface area, minimal attack surface, which is probably what you're alluding to. Just minimize the attack surface, and then there's less to take, and there's less susceptibility.
Yep. Excellent.
No, I get it. Yeah. I just it kind of remind me of George. Do you remember Ray Youssef? He used to be the CEO of Paxful. Now he moved to No One's app and stuff. So, one of the mistakes he shared, like I think whether Monerotopia or this guy, I know this a Bitcoiner named Vlad. He has a Bitcoin takeover podcast. So he talked about like setting up his company in the United States, and they had like the biggest compliance team, even bigger than some of the banks and stuff. So it's just like so much of regulation and compliance requirements. Like some of it is just just crazy. You're collecting so much information of people, and it was just like such a big headache. And in the end, like you still lose. So So I can definitely understand like why you want to like keep your things as simple as possible, and not deal with that kind of scrutiny. Even you try your best, even with good intentions, like I don't know. I think it's not worth the I guess the effort or something.
Yeah, I mean, it was it'd only be worth the effort to me if I wanted to monetize people's data, which I don't want to do, right? So that will be the only reason that so I don't want to collect it, and then I don't become a target for authorities or people who want to do something, who want to kind of get that kind of metadata. I don't become a target for them. So to me, that's just the most intelligent design. It's just, unless you want to do something shifty and you want to collect, to me that's shifty. Like you want to collect data. It's just people think they can now. Like it's totally fine to collect people's firstborn and everything else. It's just nuts to me. And because we've gone so far that the stuff's now in the wild, so people ask for more data because the stuff gets hacked, it gets released into the wild, and then that they need to protect on the basis of an even expanded data sets. I mean, it's just a very slippery slope. So as you say, it's not. It's also a functional thing. It's not just because I want it to be private. It's just because I want it to be low maintenance. Like I have my oracles. I want to be as automated as possible. It just runs its cron jobs. Woof, woof, woof. Like I just want to fine tune it and just look at it like once a day and make sure everything's resolving, and it should resolve automatically. Take my backups, make sure the cluster's working, just let it run. I don't want to get into it. It's like, and that's the best way, and everyone feels better about it. I just make sure it's just me tampering with the machine to make sure it's well oiled and working. I don't want to get in the machine. Like that's kind of my thing. Because these things can run on their own. Like Unix has been running for that's why like Monero's been running for 10 years. It's been running for a long time. Like Unix is running for 30 years. Stuff's safe. The stuff is safe. It's like if I put the stuff in a smart contract, then say for instance if something went wrong, something went wrong in a Unix server, you know who to blame, right? If something went wrong in a smart contract, everyone's, oh, sorry, I got hacked. Oh, too bad. Like there's never one dev said that there was a problem, that they were the problem. There's always some external hacker. So like it's hard, if you're doing anything slightly complex, smart contracts, like how many times have you been rugged? So I mean, it's kind of, So like, that was a design decision. I think in retrospect, it's logical, right? Like I just want to use the best technology. That's what I'm thinking. Am I using the right technology for this use case? It's that sort of thinking, as opposed to thinking, okay, well, it's in fashion to use smart contracts for everything. Like I have smart contracts for like some of the solvers, but I mean it's just very small smart contracts, not for the whole prediction system, But I mean that's proven to work. Just pulls information from the odds, pulls information from. I have an esports which I'm not supposed to be pulling from, but he pulls from them, and it just resolves it. It's nice. It's just like it's clean tech. That to me is what cypherpunks wanted. They just wanted people to build clean tech. Like it doesn't. The technology choice just needs to be the best technology choice. There are trade-offs to any technology choice, right? Like this.
No, sure. Yeah.
So
true. Yeah.
You make your choice.
Yeah. But I was about to ask you, like, and I'm glad we covered, the compliance and the scrutiny and, some of the regulatory legal risks. But I was kind of like, wanted to ask you, like, when it comes to dealing with regulators, do you have any advice to the regulators when it comes to, especially, collecting personal information, the importance of privacy, so.
I haven't been contacted Yeah, so like I have a canary, so you can check my canary. Like I think, like I said, I think it depends on your jurisdiction. So
Yeah. No, I meant like in terms of your, like, if you were to meet a regulator, right, and you got an opportunity to, like, talk about, the importance of personal information, privacy, and stuff. Like, what advice would you give to regulators?
I would explain to them that I would just ask them to keep the metadata as constrained as possible for the effective use of that particular service, and just realize with the history of metadata, like the volume of metadata which is now available, I just don't think it's effective to be collecting all and sundry of people's data. Yeah. And then if we want to use these services, it puts people off. If you have like a ton of different requirements, and people don't use it. The most effective thing we did to put people off crypto was putting up walls. Yeah. Just the way it is. Yeah. So I mean, the regulators have their needs, etc. But I mean, I think in terms of the balance of risk, like if you the balance of risk for is probably it's coming through dollars through HSBC as opposed to being done on the blockchain. So like it seems they seem to have come down quite hard on crypto. Yeah, well, I don't think it's as bad as people think. So just to kind of manage what the intake is of metadata, and then we kind of take it from there.
Awesome, sounds good. Hey, George, any questions from your side?
No, I think I've got pretty much everything. I mean, covered pretty much all the questions that I had in mind. Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah. No, but hey, before we let you go, Stephen, like, love to hear what's the long-term vision for 0xNull.
I'd like to be a platform. I would like to change the way that people look at privacy coins, because I'm working with WIT in terms of compliance technology, because we have the view keys. Like lots of people use them with Monero. Like the Monero maxis, they hate it because they think it's to me we're just improving transaction. So like So we just have it. Have it seen as a more legitimate means of exchange, because I think it's ridiculous that all blockchain transactions are now done on a public blockchain. It doesn't make any sense to me, Like for me, crypto's right? That's what it means.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's true.
We have everything on a public blockchain. So I just, and in terms of the future of Monero, it's well distributed. I think the block reward's good because it always has a block reward. So it keeps the network stable. So I think I like good technical solutions. I like the best technology, and to me, it's very nicely put together technology which has no ulterior motive. So that's another reason why I use it. So I just want to like I said, we moved away from like being prediction focused, and we just want to be more kind of lifestyle focused, and just give people an exit. They're feeling trapped in their lives. You can use these services, you can trust these services, and then you can do X, Y, and Z. You can play around. Yeah. Like I tried to do, bring in like a small OnlyFans section. Yeah. We'll see what happens with that. We'll see the marketplace. We'll see what happens with the betting stuff. It's I'm just trying to apply the technology, and then eventually I'll find something that people are into, and then I'll just riff on that. But I just wanted to create an ecosystem that people could go to, where they could trust, because I've found the best technologies and implemented the best technology that I can find. So I'm just going to keep doing that, man. Just going to expand it that way. Just do a slow burn. Let's build the technology out, make sure everything works, tune it every single day, make it better and better, and that for me is very satisfying. Yeah.
And one question not connected to privacy or technology. I mean, your favorite genre of music?
Okay, yeah, man. Like I've been listening to like some dark techno recently. So like the two, Emily Lenz and who's the other lady? Yeah, amazing, dude. Like really nice. So I used to listen to very like hard industrial techno,
drum and bass kind of thing, or
like I did drum and bass, like I just heavy like. Sort of dark drum and bass. So like I listen to bass music, and then I listen to there's some there's some British style grime, which I quite like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Grime
so
is...
I like kind of, yeah. But at the moment, still techno, man. Like I'm listening to like a bunch of techno. Like, yeah, like they're two Belgian female producers that are producing some amazing techno, like nicely balanced. So when I'm building my stuff, I just put on my headphones and listen to techno and zone out. Yeah.
In grime, you have Skepta and you have what's the other guy's name? I forgot his name. Skepta is quite famous, right, for grime?
Yeah, I was listening to that this morning, man. I was like, yeah, Google like pushed it to me. So yeah, like I love listening to that stuff, man. My kids hate it.
That's cool though, yeah. But awesome. All right, hey, Steve. Thanks for joining us. I mean, for me, it's a pleasure to have the high quality conversations on privacy, DeFi, and 0xNull. I'm glad we got to understand some of the mechanics of what's prediction markets. And sometimes some of the topics is quite confusing for a lot of the regular folks like us. So I really appreciate it. So
yeah.
We really had a great time. I'm glad we got to do this.
Absolutely. Thank
Super
you so
fun,
much.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Stephen. Really
Awesome.
appreciate it.
Sure.
Thanks,
Yeah. Awesome.
See you later.
See you.
Take care, Steve, and we'll catch up with you soon. Yeah.
Sure. Thank
Yeah.
you, guys.